Hiya folks, how's it going? My name's Lexi and I really like tabletop role-playing games. So much so that I try to review one here once a week, every week. My aim is that I try to do so in 10 minutes or less, so hopefully I can help you find your next game. If that sounds at all interesting to you, I encourage you to hit subscribe and keep watching today's video. Today we are reviewing a game of my own choice. I happened to stumble across this game a long time ago. I've been wanting to review it for forever, and I happened to get really lucky and get my hands on a second-hand physical copy. So without much further ado, or me hyping up a game without even telling you what it is, let's dive into today's game. This is Ironsworn. Ironsworn takes place somewhere cold, known as the Ironlands. Most of the people who live here are Ironlanders. They may have come from somewhere else originally, but now this is their home and they certainly can't go back to their previous one. The Ironlands are mostly one large landmass, though there's a couple of islands off the coast. The place is harsh but beautiful. It's also very isolated. There don't seem to be any major settlements or capital cities. You don't even get a lot of details of if there are any roads to travel on. Travel, in fact, is only done by the most brave and ambitious. It feels somewhat inspired by a northern European Iron Age setting, but there aren't any historic parallels or allegories to a place in our world. One of the things most important to Ironlanders is their promises. Making a promise or a vow isn't done light, and it may require a character to go on a significant adventure. Vows are not broken lightly. If you wish to make a promise that you intend to never break, you might make your vow while touching a piece of iron. Iron in this culture has a spiritual, sacred quality. There isn't a strict chronological history for you to read through to understand this game's background, but you get a couple of indications of potential significant events that happened in the past, and potential story hooks that have resulted from them. I happen to really like that there were different prompts for different areas of the Ironlands. Some of them could be great background prompts, while others definitely have a feel of a greater call to action. Interestingly, Ironsworn has the option to be played solo, cooperative, and with a game master. I was worried this wouldn't entirely make sense and it would not work, but I was pleasantly surprised. To play solo, you would only make maybe one or two characters to play as, and the rest of the action would be done either through rolling the dice or consulting a couple of tables in the book. In a cooperative game, I think you would play one main character each and fill in as the non-player characters, and if you wanted to generate story leads, there's a couple of tables you can roll to do so. In a GM game, everyone, I guess, plays a character, and the GM can play all the non-player characters or share that responsibility out. And the GM has the option to consult the tables to generate story leads, or they can ignore them if they're feeling like they've got this. For most actions in Ironsworn, you're going to be rolling 2d10, then a d6. For your player character to succeed, you want your d6 roll to match or beat higher than each of the results on the d10. Not the combined results of both d10s, but each d10 individually. I hope that makes sense. You do get some modifiers to apply to your d6 rolls. These modifiers can come from things like momentum, which is kind of an indication of how well things have been going so far, health, spirit supply, and potentially other modifiers that you have on your sheet. Some of these modifiers, though, can be negative numbers, so if things aren't going too well in your game, that could be a potential obstacle too. The stats you have in this game are Edge, which is your physical agility, your Heart, your willpower, your Iron, your strength, Shadow, your cleverness, and Wits, your brains. One of the most prominent parts of a character sheet in this game are your vows. As you work to fulfill any vows you've made, you make lines through each of the boxes to represent how close you're getting to fulfilling them. Working towards fulfilling your vows provides not only in-story gratification, but potential mechanical benefits by giving you more momentum. To make rolls in the game, you are often utilizing moves to do so. These moves can be things like strike, face danger, test your bond, and even more. There's a whole bunch. As there are so many moves, there's generally at least one option to cover what you want to do in a scene. If you are playing a game of Ironsworn and you're a bit stuck about what to do next, there is a special move called Consult the Oracle. This allows you to roll some d10s and compare them to some tables, which would generate potential story hooks or a lead in what you need to do next. The mechanics of Ironsworn are very interesting to me. Rolling 2d10s and then rolling a single d6 and hoping you beat the numbers with some help from a modifier feels like that's a pretty big challenge. If the game's going poorly, that feels like it could go very wrong very quickly. Ironsworn's a very interesting game. I can see why a lot of people have used this system and adapted it for their own purpose. I do kind of wish this manual had some more interesting visuals to accompany it. Most of the visuals in this game are people dressed in Viking-esque kind of clothing and striking a serious expression. I don't think this quite has the effect that it was intended to on me. I think it doesn't help that I have people who are very invested in the historic Viking age. So when I look at these clothes, I know they're just a little bit off. If you are looking for a mechanically high-stakes game, then this could be a fantastic option. There's both story and mechanical effects to characters breaking their promises, and benefits to keeping them. You can get a hard copy of Ironsworn for less than $30 US. But currently the PDF to this game is free. So if you're at all intrigued, just go and check it out. There's an option to do it for $0. I think having reviewed it, I am still glad that I purchased a physical copy. So those were my thoughts about Ironsworn. While I have some questions about how mechanically fair the game is, I think I understand why the rolls seem to be so challenging. I do also just really like the idea of perilous questing. But what do you think? Have you heard of Ironsworn before? Do you have any favourite games that use this system? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. While you're there, I encourage you to like this video, subscribe and turn on notifications so YouTube tells you when I've next uploaded. If you really feel like it, please, you could share this video with a friend or visit my Ko-Fi page. Every single little bit really helps this channel get more notice. I hope you're all well, and I look forward to seeing you next time at the gaming table. Bye!